I got sunshine on a cloudy day. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We are here for the final round of the Stock Car Championship. It's finally here. The wait is over. I have a table. There we go. I am working. I have a table, but I only have a table for this, so I can't tell you what the final positions are. What we'll do is we'll blag it. We'll make it up as we go along. But this bit is proper. This bit here is proper, and then everything you hear after that, I'll be making it up, because I'm sure in Discord there's a way to find all the old information. There's an archive area, but I don't know how to use Discord, so I'm not even going to bother. Read then. Racer Brown in the chat saying, yeah, hello. Hi, dude. I haven't replied to your message. I'm sorry. I will. I just haven't got around to it. So at the top of the Stock Car Championship, coming into round 8, 7 rounds we've raced, with 15-minute race and a 30-minute race, I think. I can't remember. Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat. I should have muted and just coughed. Homesick Aliens and in the lead of the championship on 81 points. Talleyrand is second on 172 points. Ensign Newer is third on 153 points. Bazza is fourth on 152 points. Only 1 point between the Ewer and the Bazza. Koikarp fifth on 139 points. He's only 4 points ahead of sixth place Skyjacker, who's on 135 points. But Pat seventh is only a point behind Skyjacker on 134 points. Then we have Jokus in eighth on 112 points, with Thingamajig ninth on 106, ahead of Digital Blasphemy in 10th on 101 points. That is after the rounds have been dropped. Your winners so far this season: Talleyrand took the first win, with Digital Blasphemy winning the feature race in that time. Skyjacker took both wins at Blue Moon Bay Speedway in round 2, with round 3 going to both races to Homesick Alien. In round 4 the BB Raceway Speedway, whatever, Talleyrand took both wins. And then the return journey to Blue Moon Bay infield, I think Talleyrand took a win, and so did Skyjacker. Then in Kyoto Driving Park, Homesick Alien took a win in the sprint, and Koikarp took the win in the feature. And last round at the high-speed highway, totally round track, I believe Bazza got a win. He did, and so did Ensign Hewitt. So here we go, bubbling down to this last round. Where is Ensign Hewitt? Is he in third? Sorry, yeah. They're not gold on that. That's all the information I've got from now on. Let's stop looking at this grill. Let's look at the grid. They do a one-shot qualifying, one lap, to base their position. And this is how they did. Homesick Alien getting pole position here at, have I even told you we're at the high-speed ring? And there is rumours that it's going to be damp. So that is Homesick Alien in his championship leading car. And a couple of wins will seal it for him today. Then we have Pat on the front row, along with Homesick Alien. Remember, he's got 1 point to find on Skyjacker to take the championship position away from him. Third on the grid, we have Jokas in his Monster Energy Nissan, and it looks absolutely cracking. It stands out from the crowd. Great colours, great design from the Polish driver. Then back in fourth place, the championship contender, it's Talleyrand in the FedEx Chevy, I think he's called it. So, yes, he's got a lot of work to do here at High Speed Ring, because he needs points on Alien. He needs Alien to have a terrible, terrible race, and for himself to have a cracking. Great rims, by the way, Talleyrand. Great rims. Love a great rim job. Then we have last week's winner of the feature race, Ensign Ewart, sitting 5th upon the grid. Can he emulate last round's race win? It was all about the choice of tyres, and Ensign Ewart got it bob on. Then 6th, is it? 6th? I think we're down to 6th. 4th, 5th, yes, 6th. Sorry, Martin Brundle doesn't do this, does he? 6th is a Red Bull splattered Nissan of Koi Carp, already with a win under his belt this season. Can he get a second one to finish the season off? And then, as per usual, on the back row is Thingy-Majig in the Alpha Tora Nissan. And it is a pretty enough car, just it's the driver that's the problem. And that is the grid for this final round. Only 7 of us bothered. Let it begin. So a rolling start here, 15 minutes around the high speed ring. Let's get it on. A boogie, whatever they say. Those silly Americans. So Homesick Alien leads them away from Pat. And Jokus in 3rd. Talleyrand already trying to make up ground on the Polish driver with Big Dan in his tow, and they're all trying to cut the tow from each other. Koi Carp has found Thingamajig right on the rear tail of himself, and it's race on there between Thingamajig and Koi Carp, but it's Homesick Alien that leads the way, and Pat's holding. He's holding, but Jokus is coming up the inside of him for a break and try to get a move. Pat moves across the track. Talleyrand kind of got boxed in a little bit behind Pat, and Pat maintains 2nd place. Great stuff from Pat as he chases down the Alien. Big Dan gains out of the commotion between Talleyrand, Pat and Jokus, and he moves himself up into 3rd spot, with Talleyrand now in for fighting off Jokus. Koi Carp still maintaining the distance ahead of Thingamajig. Thingamajig not making any inroads to Koi Carp so far, and Homesick Alien lengthening out that lead. It's going to be a slam dunk for the Alien here. Absolutely. And Pat's had a knock, has he? Oh, it looked like he got snagged up with the fence. And Big Dan now under pressure from Talleyrand, who moves up, and it's a must win for Talleyrand here as Pat takes to a bit of the grass, and Pat's still ahead though. No, it wasn't Pat on the grass. Jokus then, and Big Dan slipping down into 5th place. Koi Carp still staying ahead of Thingamajig. Thingamajig managing to get up close under the toe, but then soon as they're into the corner, the toe absolutely ruins it for Thingamajig, and he loses all kind of grip, and he's unable to make any movements on Koi, although he's trying to pull alongside him, but he's on the outside. It's not the place you want to be. Going into the corner, swings it out wide to try and get a good loop through, but still Koi Carp made it through a lot faster than Thingamajig. And meanwhile, Big Dan in 5th, Jokus giving it some. No, it's Talleyrand on Pat. We've got Talleyrand on Pat now, and Pat's got the inside here, but it looks like Talleyrand has made the move, and Talleyrand's through. Pat taken to the grass. Pat's taken to the grass, and that's given Jokus the position as well. Jokus through. Big Dan is through. Pat has lost 3 positions just by grabbing too much curb on the inside there, and Koi Carp has made quite a bigger distance from Thingamajig now, as Homesick Alien knows he's got his main contender behind him. But even 2 second places, I think, is enough for the Alien to clinch it here in round 8. And Homesick Alien again crossing the line in the lead. 3 laps done, nearly 3 minutes done of this 15-minute race. Talleyrand chasing him down with Jokus now in 3rd, and Pat slipping down to 5th behind Big Dan, and Koi Carp looking like he wants to get a move done on Pat. Thingamajig giving up the ghost there. He's not even in the toe of Koi, and there's nothing he can do now with Koi picking up the toe from Pat, and it's adios Thingamajig, you're out the race. And Pat scraping the wall as he slings it around there, giving Koi Carp an opportunity to draw ever closer. Homesick Alien out in the lead. Talleyrand getting the job done up to 2nd, but Jokus staying in the fights. Jokus staying there with Talleyrand. And they're doing 1:15s, a 1:14.8 for Talleyrand, a 1:15.4 for Homesick Alien. So Talleyrand absolute blistering speed on lap 2 with Joker's 15s. 15.8 for Dan. Pat managing an 18.7, a rough lap for Pat there next to the leaders. Coy doing a 16.9 and Thingamajig a 17.6. And the tyre wear is real. It's gone already nearly for some of these guys. Homesick Alien being caught up exponentially by Talleyrand. Talleyrand absolutely scooping that distance between him and Homesick Alien away, just slinging it away and going for a move around the outside. Great drive there from Talleyrand. Homesick Alien's still there alongside him. Homesick Alien's got the inside line coming into the braking zone. It's a huge battle for the championship lead here, and Talleyrand is ahead. Talleyrand is ahead, and Homesick Alien has to watch himself, for Jokus is in the fight. Jokus looking for a second place here against Homesick Alien, and he doesn't quite get the move done. Big Dan there in 4th, Pat 5th, Koi Carp in 6th, with a Thingamajig in 7th. But the top 4 all very close together. Talleyrand leads, Homesick Alien in 2nd place. Jokus is in 3rd, with a Big Dan there in 4th, on board with Ensign Hewitt. Jokus there up ahead, getting a toe off of Homesick Alien, and he's through, he's up. So Jokus now up into 2nd place as we sit aboard with Big Dan. And that's high speed ring for you. Honestly, I don't know what else to say to you. It's the dullest track in the world. Certainly nothing happened in the race. Everyone drove, they did their laps, and you could barely get a move on. I mean, there's been some overtaking up at the front, I suppose, but for Pat, Koi Carp and Thingamajig, that was it for 15 minutes. Nothing happened. Don't want to give anything away. I mean, Koi might get past Pat, I'm not sure. Koi Carp's tyre's totally dead now. And Pat's struggling as well with those tyres. And Thingamajig losing even more ground to the boys ahead. I think, I don't know if it's down to the toe or just down to skill levels. Talleyrand, he's definitely out of the toe of Homesick Alien, who's just got himself that position back from Jokus. With Big Dan in the shout as well. These guys in the 15s. Oh, well, Homesick Alien in the 16s, sorry. And a 17.3 for Jokus, but Big Dan, a 17.3 as well. Sorry, I thought it said 15. It's a 16.6 for Pat, with Koi Carp doing a 17.0 and Thingamajig doing a 17.3. So that's no change down at the back there. Talleyrand then owning this one. Looked like it was all Homesick Alien, but Talleyrand, he's going to go out with a bang. And I thought to myself, I was just going to say that the championship order is whatever order they finish in, because I haven't got the table, so I was just going to make it up. So Talleyrand could be the championship winner here by default, or the stream winner, stream champion, as Homesick Alien chasing him down, though. He's pulled away from Jokus now. That tyre wear has become real for these guys, where they've been from doing 15s, dropping down into the 17s. Pat still ahead of Koi Carp. And Thingamajig even further back now. Looks like Thingamajig must have made a mistake this lap. He's lost huge ground to the guys ahead of him. And we'll see what lap time he's done as he crosses the line. And we'll go up and see how everyone else's did. A 19.8, definitely huge mistake there. 17.3 from Koi Carp. Pat doing a 17.4. Big Dan a 17.8. So Pat and Koi Carp at this point are faster than Big Dan. Jokus managing a 17.0 behind Homesick Alien, who's doing 16.7s, and Talleyrand a 16.9. We've got, I don't know, 6.5 minutes left of the race. at the moment. Doesn't look like, unless someone slings it off, it doesn't really look like anything's going to change. To the order, Big Dan in 4th. Jesus. Alexa, volume down 4. So a Big Dan there in 4th with Pat under the cosh from Koikarp. Koikarp really closing in now. Koikarp starting to give Pat a lot of things to think about. Lots of debates as it looks like Pat's scraping all the way around that wall. That's got to have slowed him down. And there you go, Koikarp going in for the kill. And he's going to get the move. He won a round, I think round 4. And now he's moved on up into 5th place ahead of Pat. Great driving there from Koikarp. And Big Dan chasing down Jokers. He's got him in view. It's not far away. Does Koikarp keep that position from Pat? Pat's trying his hardest on the outside, but there's nothing there doing. On board with Pat as he goes for the braking zone, goes for the move. He's outbroke himself a little bit, and Koikarp comes back underneath him, and Koi keeps the position. And Thingamajig will be hoping these guys look at 20 there from Thingamajig. I don't know what's going on. It's just absolutely ludicrous driving from Thingamajig. Is ridiculous. He's out on a Sunday drive. A 20.0. Everyone else is doing 17s. He's doing 3 seconds a lap slower. I don't know why he bothers. So Talaran there leading, but Homesick Alien is closing up on him now. And Talaran trying to break the toe, coming over to the inside. He's allowed to do that. Make that one move. And Homesick Alien, though, still keeping the toe, going into the first corner. We've got 4.5 minutes left of racing, and I said it was a boring race, but it looks like Homesick Alien's going to make it a little bit more lively for us around the outside of Talleyrand. And where has this come from? Homesick Alien finding some extra pace as he makes the move on Talleyrand and goes for gold. Joker's there in 3rd. He's getting closer. Big Dan's getting ever so close now. And Talleyrand all up and in Homesick Alien's business. Big Dan chasing him down. Koikarp is ahead of Pat. I think we saw it happen though. Pat's coming back in for the move under the braking. Pat wants that position back, but his car's snaking in the mid corner there, and Koikarp manages to keep hold of it just about. And 19.9. I'm not even going to go to him. It's pointless. So Homesick Alien leads this race to Talleyrand, and Joker's there in 3rd, giving it a wall scrape, and that's not going to help. Big Dan will easily close up on Joker's, and I think that wall scrape is just down to a pure lack of grip with those tyres going away from him. And yes, Big Dan trying to close in. Under the toe, is he going to get the move done up the inside? And there he goes, Big Dan up and into a podium position. And that'll put him on good stead with his fight with the Bazza in the championship, with Bazza not able to make it this season, this round, sorry. I think he was killing some Arabs. So Jokus then all up and in it, trying to fight Big Dan, or killing some Russians, I suppose now. They're the enemy. So Big Dan protecting the inside with Jokus all up and in his business. Koikarp still maintaining that lead to Pat, but Pat is all up and in his business. Pat's up for this position. He's not giving it up easily. We're 12.5 minutes into this 15-minute race. And Pat there chasing Koikarp up. Oh, Talleyrand's back in the lead. Or was he in the lead? No, Homesick did take it back from him, didn't he? So somewhere along the way, Talleyrand has gained that place back. He's done a 16.9 that lap, with Homesick Alien doing a 17.6. But Homesick Alien in the toe, goes up the inside. And this is proper stock car racing, swapping places 2 or 3 times. It's not real racing, Americans, but I can see how you think it's real racing. It looks like real racing, but it's really not. It's just, you get a toe, you overtake, then you get a toe, you overtake. It's ridiculous. Use proper racetracks and do some proper racing. To all Americans, please. You can give up racing games as well if you want, because you're all bobbins at that and all. So Homesick Alien leads from Talleyrand. Talleyrand giving it some big welly behind him with Big Dan. And Talleyrand just waiting for another toe, I guess. Get around that final corner, pick up a toe, and Talleyrand will be leading the race into the next corner as they come around that final corner. This is the closest battle, though. Big Dan's got ahead of Jokers. He's left him for dead. And now we'll see Talleyrand pick up a toe, although he's lost a bit of space in that corner. He may have lost a bit of grip, but he's just got to keep that toe going. We've got a minute left of this race. And Talleyrand then doesn't get back ahead of Homesick. We've broken the pattern. And Homesick, he's done a good lap there, 16.4 against a 17.6. So Talleyrand, I think, might have outbraked himself in that final corner. But he's getting that toe again so he can close back up to the Alien. Big Dan is pulling away from Jokers. Jokers just can't maintain the pace. Now the tyres are starting to go. Pat back ahead. Pat is back ahead of Koikart. Great driving from Pat. 17.2 there from Pat, with Koikart doing an 18.3. Koikart struggling with the tyre wear. Then we have Homesick Alien leads. Talleyrand chasing him down, and they've run out of time now. This is it. This is the end. Talleyrand just isn't close enough to get the toe to work for him down that final straight, and it's a slam dunk for Homesick Alien. He led early on, and he's going to come out as the winner. And here he comes to take the checkered flag, and it's Homesick Alien. Boof. Great drive with Talleyrand, great effort. Big Dan with the podium. Take a boo, my son. Jokers in fourth. Pat comes home in fifth, ahead of Koikart. Brilliant there. Brilliant driving. Brilliant stuff. Well, I must say, it's not been my favourite race to stream. That was pretty dull. And we got 30 minutes of it next. So stick with it. You never know. Something might happen that's interesting. Oh, for God's sake, can't you just stay? No. Oh, I hate you, GT7, so much. That's not my items. Sorry, in the wrong place. I think that's it. So, another 30 minutes at the high speed ring. Oh, Skyjack is saying, oh, hello, dear. And it is wet. Look at it, it's wet. Don't look at the top corner because it tells you the results. Hang on, I'll pause it while I get all the information up. I think that's it. So, Thingamajig, as he started from finished at the back, he's going to take him around the front. It's pointless, we'll not bother watching him. Koikart then in second place. Come on, pulls it out, and he's going to easily get by Thingamajig. There's Pat in third, Jokes in fourth, Big Dan in fifth, Talleyrand and Homesick Alien sixth and seventh in this race. So Koikart leads the race so far ahead of Pat. And Jokers there. Big Dan, Talleyrand. They're all, oh no, here we go. We have got different choices. Homesick Alien's on intermediate tyres. Talleyrand's on wets. It's very much a wet race there. Talleyrand lost a lot of grip there. Big Dan slipped down as well. Big Dan's had an issue. And someone else is having an issue there. Jokers looks like was having a moment. And Koikart in fourth now with third. Thingamajig slipping down into second place. He's on the intermediate tyres. Pat's on the intermediate tyres, but he's making better use of it. And Pat nearly losing the car as Talleyrand now tries to get some moves done up the inside of the AlphaTauri car. And Pat leading the way. Great drive from Pat at the moment. He's on the intermediates. Thingamajig's on the intermediates. And Talleyrand's on the wets, which is pretty much the correct tyre. Intermediates for Big Dan with Koikart on the full wet tyres. He's got Homesick Alien on inters. It looks like, oh, I don't know if that was just a net code. And there we got Homesick being overtaken by Jokers. Pat leads though. Pat, steady hand, steady mind. He's steady on the track and he's keeping it real. Thingamajig getting overtaken by Talleyrand. Is he though? And I imagine so. I'm sure Thingamajig will just poo himself and brake way too early. There you go. Talleyrand then takes the lead. Big Dan is the next man down the track. And Jokus in 5th. Homesick Alien 6th. He's got himself past Koikart now. And he's trying to get some headway through the track. Oh, it's very jumpy, isn't it? Very jumpy. It's hard to know contact from bad lag. But Pat leads from Talleyrand now. And Talleyrand, this is the perfect one for him. If he can get in the lead of this race ahead of, with Homesick right down in 6th. There's probably still not enough points. But it gets it closer and closer at the end. Thingamajig in 3rd with Big Dan chasing him down. Just having a little sip of my not so hot beverage. Big Dan getting faster and Thingamajig looks like he's made a mistake. It was inevitable and that is a Thingamajig laughable. Homesick Alien next to overtake him with Koikart there. I mean, I never even give it much thought, but Pat came up with a stat about how terrible Thingamajig's finishing positions are. And he posted it in Discord for everyone else to see. Morally destroying a man. Absolutely pulverising his ego, his pride, and just his reason for being. So yeah, cheers Pat, thanks for that. So this is Thingamajig on his way to that brilliant stat of something about 7 lasts out of 8 races this season. Koikart then in the moment is 7th with Pat leading the way and Talleyrand chasing him down. Then Big Dan trying to stave off a Jokus. Didn't Big Dan get a podium in the first race? So Big Dan scoring big while No Bazza is here. And Jokus having a tremendous race there with Homesick Alien though. Trying to come round and up the inside of Jokus. Koikart is seconds away from getting that 6th position. Talleyrand leads from Pat with Big Dan in 3rd. Yeah, well Pat, get on No Man's Sky, alright? Because I'm not last in No Man's Sky. Trust me, on No Man's Sky I'm really good. I'm not very good at racing games. So Talleyrand is leading the way with Pat in 2nd, Big Dan in 3rd, Jokus in 4th, Homesick Alien in 5th, Koikart in 6th, and there you go, 7th for Thingamajig in last, surprisingly. So Talleyrand leads. I want to race with them because I've got VR and it's bloody awesome. But it's just they're all too fast. What am I meant to do? If there's any groups out here that are mediocre, slow drivers, I'd like to find a VR group to race in because I don't get no information. I get no information in the race. I don't know lap times. I mean, I know my own lap times, but I don't know how far people are away from me, what positions they're in. There's no information there. So if you see Thingamajig loses the pack and you can't see anyone in front of him, the lap times will probably drop down by 2 seconds because you don't know what pace people are doing. And I'm lazy. I'll only drive as fast as the car in front of me, or I'll just go to default, just make it around. So Talleyrand, I haven't got that urge to go faster every time. Just getting around is fun. But Talleyrand there leads the way with Big Dan now in 2nd. We've had huge changes. I don't know what. Oh, Pat slipped down to 3rd with Jokus now in 4th. The track is drying. And it's Talleyrand who's on wet tyres at the moment with Big Dan into, I think the rest of the field have all opted for intermediates. No, Koikart is on the wet tyres and Thingamajig is on the intermediates. He crosses the line with a 27.4, a 24.6 for Koikart, 23. So, yeah, he's 5 seconds a lap off the pace. Oh, do you know what? I've just joined a new Friday night racing thing and it's just after seeing this, I think I'm going to have to pull it. It's ridiculous. So Talleyrand leads from Pat with Big Dan. Fastest man on track at the moment. Big Dan is intermediates coming to life. We'll be coming up to a pit stop soon. with Homesick Alien. I don't know what position he needs, to tell you the truth, to seal the championship. I think he's probably already sealed it, in all fairness. I don't think this race is going to really make no difference to him. With Kuikarp there, 6th, giving it some welly around the corner. He's on wet tyres now, and the track definitely, I think, has moved away from the wet tyre to the intermediate tyre. So, as you can see, Pat coming back at Talleyrand. And Pat looking for a win here to round out his season of Stock Car Championship. Big Dan in 3rd. Got a podium in the last round and a win the round before. So, in the first race and in the round before. The first race of this round, he got a podium. And there's Pat now with those intermediate tyres. A lot more grip, it seems, than Talleyrand. He gets the move done, and he's up and through into the first corner. And Talleyrand is in 2nd with Big Dan in 3rd. Joker's holding on to that 4th. Joker's has had an amazing round, this one. It has to be recognised. Great pace from Joker's with Homesick Alien in 5th place. He's not been able to get any headway done in this track with Kuikarp on those wet tyres. Still maintaining great lap time ahead of Thingamajig, who's having a nightmare. Talleyrand then. And this is great for Talleyrand because Pat and Big Dan are starting to get into a kerfuffle. Oh, Pat nearly losing the back end of the car. And Pat moving down into 3rd as Big Dan gets the move done ahead. And it's Big Dan in 2nd. The intermediate car tyres should be on prime now. Talleyrand should be struggling with pace and grip, and Big Dan and Pat could go forth and attack even Jokers possibly. They're 8.5 minutes into this 30-minute race, I believe, and they don't have. There's no mandatory tyre in this one now because it's been wet and they've used them. And Ensign, you in the chat saying hi, Thingy. Hi, bird. So Big Dan now is in the lead. Yes, there you go. Big Dan. Talleyrand is struggling with the wet tyres. Half a tank of fuel used. So it's nowhere near an optimum pit stop for him. He would have to make a double stop if he stopped now to get the tyres. He's going out wide to get onto the wet stuff. And Big Dan, though, absolutely owning it at the moment. Pat's right there in the shout as well. Jokus is at 4th place. He's starting to pick up the pace with Homesick Alien as well, doing similar times to Jokers. Kuikarp, he's in the 23s still. Thingamajig in the 23s also. So Big Dan's in the lead now. Big Dan has taken the lead. Did he already take the lead? I can't remember. Talleyrand, I think he might have done. Talleyrand down in 2nd with Pat in 3rd. Can Pat get himself closer to Talleyrand? And he's got to watch himself because Jokus and Homesick Alien are all coming his way. There's no rain now, the track's drying, and that looks like Pat going quite wide at the top of the corner to maybe pick up some more water. And when is going to be the optimum time for them to pit so they can put enough fuel in to get to the end of the race? It's still too wet at the moment to go onto dry tyres, I believe. They've got to stick with their intermediates. It's just the wet tyre guys would probably like to pit. I don't know what's going on there. We've lost Kuikarp for some reason. There he is. So Koi, he does his fastest lap, 22.2. And the wet tyres holding out for him. Jigger 22.2 as well. Not gaining any ground on him. Big Dan leads with a 21.5. Talleyrand a 22.6. A 22.5 from Pat. Homesick Alien a 21.3. So Homesick Alien really is finding where the dry patches are and getting some good times out of his car. Joker's there. Oh, he's dropped behind the Alien. Well, with that pace, it's no surprise there. But Joker's getting a 21.9 there. We've got a lovely little battle here between Pat, oh, even Talleyrand. He's a little further ahead of him. But we've got Pat, Homesick and Jokus all in a little flurry, racing each other. Kuikarp maintaining that distance ahead of Thingamajig, even though his tyres are absolutely wrong for the conditions. He's driving out of his skin and maintaining a great distance to... You're allowed to swear once. 20.2. Out of Big Dan. Talleyrand has decided this is the time to get rid of those wet tyres. It will be tight for fuel, I believe, for him. it'll be way too tight for Fuel. So he might have to make another stop before the end. Big Dan on the inters, perfect for him. Big distance from Homesick. Homesick Aliens moved up and into second place now, ahead of Pat. Pat's trying to come back at him with Jokus in fourth place. Koikart then in fifth. He opts not to make a pit stop, and Thingamajig is ahead of Talleyrand by default, but I imagine Talleyrand will catch him up. Talleyrand has gone soft tyres. Not quite ready for softs, I don't believe, but he has gone for the soft tyre. Interesting stuff. Big Dan leads the race from Homesick Alien. These guys are going to keep on going until the track's bone dry. They can get away with that on the inters and not have too bad a pace. It's when they start seeing Talleyrand's fastest laps dropping in there, and they are ridiculously fast, they will all swan into the pits. But at the moment, no need. Big Dan out there in the lead, a 20.4 for Big Dan. Homesick Alien a 20.3. Joker's managing a 20.2, with Pat getting a 21.2. Koikart on those wet tyres, a 22.2. No, yeah, another 22.2. Lovely consistency there from Koikart. And Thingamajig getting a 21.6. So the intermediates starting to help Thingamajig there, but not closing up the gap too quickly on Koikart. And then we have Talleyrand, who's made a pit stop. He's gone on to soft tyres. Even though the conditions aren't quite ready for softs, he's gone bold. He's gone bold as Talleyrand's. Big Dan snaking around through the big, huge chicane under the bridge thing. Yeah, the Inter's not giving him much grip at the moment. He's getting purples though. Homesick Alien chasing him down. And who knows when these guys are going to pit. And Pat under pressure from our man Pat. Koikart has made his pit stop. Koikart has made his pit stop now. Thingamajig goes through and up and into fifth place, but his tyres are starting to feel it. There goes Koikart pulling up to his pit box. Talleyrand should easily go by, and Talleyrand goes fastest of all with a 19.5. And Big Dan doing a 19.9, so it's still not that much faster than the intermediates. It's still not worth going to the softer tyre yet. Pat under pressure from Jokus. Jokus is inevitable. Jokus is definitely going to get by Pat. He's all up and in his business up the inside, and Jokus making a beautiful move there on Pat for third place for the podium position. And Pat, though, is falling back into his toe, trying to come back at Jokus up the inside, doesn't quite make it stick. No, nothing there either for Pat. Thingamajig in fifth place for now, and he's miles behind the guys ahead of him. Big Dan comes in right at the halfway mark. Perfect timing for fuel. So does Homesick Alien and Jokus. Pat stays out. He fancies going a little further around, and Talleyrand is got to be closed right up with Thingamajig. Not quite yet. Thingamajig moving up into second, but just through, not making any pit stops. A 21.2 there for Thingamajig. Big Dan coming out of the pits. Pat doing a 21.5. So Big Dan comes out of the pits ahead of Talleyrand, but Talleyrand's flying on his soft tyres, and Big Dan is being rather ginger. Homesick Alien as well, needing to be tiptoe their way around this first lap. The tyres are... Oh, yeah. I think Jokus had a little bump as he come out of the pits. If you floor it too hard in the wet, there you go. Smashed it. And Koikart will easily get that position back from Jokus. And Koikart going racing hards. It is a mandatory tyre, but because of the wet, the hards don't have to be used. Pat then leads the way with Thingamajig in second. Talleyrand not that far behind Thingamajig, and will easily take over the lead of this race. Big Dan who also has gone racing hard. Homesick Alien's gone racing soft. Maybe they think that the softs did wear out rather quickly, if you remember, in the sprint race. So maybe they've opted to go for the hard tyre to get longevity out of it. Joker's then in 6th place, ahead of Koi Carp, so he kept the position. Koi Carp was never managed to get by him. Pat's taken it into the pits. Pat's gone into the pits, and off. I would imagine Thingamajig will as well, with that tyre wear at the front. No? Okay. Maybe Thingamajig remembers that the soft tyre doesn't last, and he wants to use the soft tyre, so he's going to just muller the intermediate tyre. There is Talaran then getting the fastest lap of the race so far. Big Dan in 3rd. Homesick Alien gets ahead of Pat. Pat comes out of the pits rather gingerly. Nearly, yes, he keeps it together and stays ahead of Koi Carp, who is now ahead of Jokers. Jokers must have had another issue on those racing hard tyres. And Thingamajig leading the race for now, but he's got to make a pit stop, and it'll be this time round, I imagine. Who knows? So Talaran chasing him down, not that far away, with an 18.5 next to Thingamajig's 21.9, and Homesick Alien fighting with Big Dan. And those soft tyres, though, remember, will not last. They will not last till the end of the race. They will be raw. So what will the Racing Hards do? Will the Racing Hards be a better tyre in the long run? We can only wait and see. Koi Carp then in 6th, and he's dropped Jokers like a bad smell. And it's all about Thingamajig leading this race until he makes a pit stop and comes out last, probably. And Talaran then goes ahead and takes the lead of the race ahead of Homesick Alien into 2nd, and Big Dan moves himself up into 3rd place. Pat will be next along to get himself a 4th, and we've got 11.5 minutes of racing left to do. And it was Koi Carp that Thingamajig was following all through the first part of the race, and yes, Koi Carp goes ahead. Thingamajig's coming out of the pits. It's going to be close. He's floored it, and he's spun it. Nice touch. Oh, nice. No, not nice. That would have been nice, but he floored it again and went ridiculous. And there goes Jokers through, and Thingamajig all washed up mush. So a Jokers, but he's too far behind now Koi Carp, I imagine, to make any race of it. Someone's having a spin. Pat's having a spin, and that's going to put Koi Carp up a position. If Pat can't keep it going, he's got a bit of damage on the front there. He's crushing it. And oh no, he cannot get any traction down on the track. And it looks like Jokers might get that position away from Pat as well. Pat really struggling on the hard tyres, and Jokers coming around, and Thingamajig also struggling on the soft tyre. Meanwhile, Talaran leads this race, but not by far, because Homesick Alien's there on the softs, and Big Dan in 3rd is on the hard tyre. Now what can go wrong here? The softs could wear out totally, the hards could keep on going, and oh my god, it's just obviously just not quite dry enough for some of these guys, because Koi Carp also having a huge spin, and Pat's just too far away to get anything out of it. Joker's there in 6th, and Thingamajig miles away as well, trying to shore up those stats. For over half of his races finished in last place. We know that because Pat put it in Discord for everyone to see. So Talaran there is leading the way with Homesick Alien in 2nd, and Big Dan in 3rd. Koi Carp in 4th, with Pat very close behind him, and Jokers in 6th, having a little scrape with the wall, and he's lost the back end, and he's gathered her up. No, he just can't get the traction down, can Jokers. It's very slippery out there indeed, and Thingamajig are just trying to make it around, I think. Homesick Alien posts the fastest time so far with a 17.4. Talaran's only getting 20s out of his softs, and they are worn, they are torn, they are absolutely shredded. And Homesick Alien is coming forth to take the position away. Big Dan on those hard tyres, just taking it steady Eddie in the background, with Koikart now up into fourth, with Pat chasing him down, and it's very slippery for these guys further down. Jokus is in sixth place with Thingamajig in seventh, but it's Talleyrand going forth to take the win in these uncertain conditions, and it's been an absolute great drive by all concerned. We are just coming up to 8 minutes left of racing. Homesick Alien in second. He's only a corner away from Talleyrand. Big Dan is closing in though. It looks like Big Dan is closing in on the Alien possibly. Koikart keeping Pat at bay. They're both on the racing hard tyre, and I doubt now it's going to change there between those two, with Jokers pushing on in the background. And these are all on hard tyres, with Thingamajig going with the soft tyre. Will that help him? He's done a 19.2 and they're doing 23s and 20s, but I think Thingamajig just too far back to get anything out of this now, with Talleyrand's tyre getting more and more worn as he goes. It's a 19.4 for Talleyrand. Homesick Alien doing a 22.8 though that last time around, so it's still treacherous conditions. An 18.8 for Big Dan. The times are all over the place, and Koikart losing it on the wall, but luckily Pat doing the same thing. And Koi, oh, is he going into the pits? No, he's just having a little slide around all over the place, and that gives Pat the position. Surely, as Koikart spent most of that straight going sideways, and that is Pat up and in to a fourth place. Koikart in fifth, Jokus there in sixth, and Thingamajig in seventh. There he is. Talleyrand then, the tyre almost totally gone on the front right there, with Homesick Alien. Loads of tread still left, getting purples as he goes. And with only 6.5 minutes of racing left, and Homesick Alien is looking very tidy indeed to maybe take the win away from Talleyrand. Talleyrand, with the early stop, got him in the track position, but his tyre is letting him down. It's totally worn there, with Homesick Alien only half worn. Big Dan on those hard tyres, maintaining a good pace behind the soft runners. Koikart in fourth with a 22.2 last time around, but he's still ahead of Jokers, who did a 20.9. Pat's dropped back somehow, but Thingamajig's picked up damage as well, so Thingamajig must have had an issue that last time around. And Pat in seventh, having a problem with the wall, not enjoying the hard tyre whatsoever. Jokers then just up ahead of Thingamajig, trying to chase down Koikart, and all four of them in the same camera shot. Big Dan has lost ground to Homesick Alien, who is now gaining on Talleyrand, as Talleyrand's front tyre gives up all hope of anything. And Homesick Alien then in second place with purples, and it's going to be an easy win for Homesick Alien. We've got 5 minutes left, just over, of this race to go, and it looks like Homesick Alien saving those tyres, staying out a bit longer. I mean, in all fairness, Talleyrand didn't have much choice. He was on the wet tyre, and he had to come in, really, because he was losing too much time. And even so, it's just he's probably not going to drop down as far as third place at this point in the race. So he turned it around from the wet tyre to the dry. To still get a podium is some effort. Koikart there in fourth spot. And Joker's absolutely... Is he closing in? Let's have a look. They're just about to cross the line. You can see what times they did. So there we go. Koikart crossing the line with a 19.6. Joker's a 19.5. Thingamajig an 18.3. Them soft tyres doing well for Thingamajig at the moment, but he's just not managing to close the gap like he'd like. And now this must be one of the races in Pat's stats that Thingamajig didn't finish last, unless he spins and comes behind Pat. So Talleyrand then leading the way, but for how much longer, with Homesick Alien closing in. Somewhere over the rainbow. And here we go then, Homesick Alien getting the move done. I was looking at Discord, I wasn't really watching. Sorry. No, he hasn't got the move done so far on Talleyrand's. But his tyres are starting to wear as they battle it out up ahead. And again, he's going around the outside to the rubber and the wet, where it'll still be damp. It's still damp off the racing line. I saw the water level come up. Again, damp. It's brave moves from Homesick Alien, putting his car on the curbs or out wide or anything, because it's a fine line where the water lies. And Homesick Alien, though, with a lovely tow coming out from under the bridge. He's just got to get around this corner. He could probably tow his way past him on the straight. And these two flying away from it. We've got 2.5 minutes left of racing here at the high speed ring. And Homesick Alien still not ready to pull the trigger on this one. And this could... No, I don't think it'll be their final lap. I think there'll be another lap. And there goes Homesick Alien then up the inside on the wet side of the track on a set of wearing softs, and Talleyrand's are worn. Talleyrand trying to come back at the Alien, but there is no coming back. And these two we've seen throughout this season having an absolute humdinger of a battle. It's been cracker-lacking. Big Dan in third, getting good times on those hard tyres with wear, and he can see the battle ahead of him. These two might slow each other down a little bit with their racing. Talleyrand goes back for the inside, but Homesick Alien only just holding the lead around the outside, and now on the inside he's got it back, and it's a humdinger of a battle between the leaders here, the championship leaders, with Talleyrand in second with no tyres whatsoever on his car on the front right hand there, and Homesick Alien having very little left. And they're playing a very dicey game on a drying track with worn out tyres. There could be tears before bedtime here, with Big Dan keeping it steady Eddie, and he's doing a certain 18s every lap. These two have dropped into the 19s now, not Homesick. Homesick's in the 18s still, and it's still race on here between these two as they drag race down the straight. And it's Homesick Alien getting his nose in front in the corner, and Homesick Alien leads for what this is might possibly be their final lap of the race. And Big Dan in third, Koikarp maintaining that position ahead of Jokers, with Thingamajig getting nowhere near. He's getting 18s on the softs, and but so were them guys on the hards, so useless. And Pat in that last position at the moment, but it's this battle that no one wants to take their eyes off. Talleyrand's fuel is on its last legs. Has the clock run out yet? Not yet. They're all crossing line to start their final laps. Pat's going to get across the line as well. He does. So Talleyrand ahead of Homesick Alien. His fuel very, very low. He wants the flag to come out before he reaches the line. Yeah, should do. It shouldn't take him more than 3 seconds to get around this little corner and down the straight. And it looks like Talleyrand is going to get the win. I honestly thought Homesick Alien was going to get the job done. And here they come, Talleyrand then along the straight to take the final win of the season. Great drive from Talleyrand. Homesick Alien comes home in second. Big Dan rounds out the podium. Take a boo, my son. Double podium. And Koikarp coming home. I know it swapped them around, but it's because Big Talleyrand and Homesick didn't use hard tyres. Koikarp then in fourth, just ahead of Jokus. And it's Koikarp who's going to get that fourth place.
In the final table results.
He shouldn't have. So then Koikarp then in fourth. It's very close between himself. I have no idea. Oh shoot, what did I just do? Oh, I jumped back 10 seconds, didn't I? So Koikarp and Jokus battling it out there, but I think, yeah. And Thingamajig crosses in sixth, with Pat coming in home in seventh. So, well, Big Dan seems to think he kept that win. I think it's just because of the hard tyre rule with Talleyrand Homesick and Thingamajig not sticking to the hard tyre rule. So when Pat goes over, he should go ahead of Thingamajig. Yeah, Pat moves up to 4th. So, well, there's 2 different kinds of results here then, out here in the open. There's the one where Talleyrand won ahead of Homesick Alien. Big Dan came in 3rd. Koi Carp in 4th. Joker's 5th. Thingamajig 6th. And Pat 7th. Also, maybe this did count to my stats of over 50% races finished in last. But I always thought if the rule was the soft tyre, if you use a rain tyre, then you don't have to use the mandatory tyre. So it's interesting. Ensign saying could be wrong, though. And Ensign saying, either way, I was pleased to finish so close to the 2 VRC Titans. No, Big Dan, big moves, big drive, big super drive. So, yeah, there you go. That was the Stock Car Championship. And it was a lot more fun to drive it than probably to watch it, I admit. Oval racing is dull fest. We tried, though. I tried to put my own little spin on it. Tried to keep it entertaining for you, but it's tough. And by round 8, I had to put my hands up and say it was a fun championship. I was driving in it. It was good. Just as a broadcast, it's not one to... not much happens, does it? And it's all about toe and stuff. But it was a good championship, and ironically, Big Dan was the champion. Koi Carp came 2nd in the championship. Jokers came 3rd in the championship. Pat came 4th in the championship. Talleyrand 5th. Homesick Alien came home in 6th. Finished 6th in the overall season, and a thing we did came last overall, and the people that didn't turn up got excluded from the championship. So really it was the results of this race. It was a bit of a trick. It was one of those trick seasons. It's like everyone's driving mad all season to try and get points to have positions in championships. But when it all boiled down to it, it's just what the very final races finishing positions was your championship position. So Big Dan, Ensign Ewart, great work there on your championship win. Brilliant stuff. And Koi Carp 2nd in the championship. Cracking. And Joker's coming home that runner-up place. So that is the end of the stock cars. Thank you for joining us. If you did, carry on with the whole season. Well done. And join us again on these random drops, these random broadcasts. I've got a whole list, man. I've got karting, I've got Focusers, and now the GT4. So who knows? I'll put it on the GT7 random thing, the roulette, and see which one comes up next. It'll probably be round 5 of the Ford Focus. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. I was your broadcaster and your commentator. I suck dicks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Who knows when? Who knows where? Let's have a look at Big Dan, the championship winner. Whee! Peace and love. Peace and love.